What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog, back in standard here with a Midrange Azorius Flyers. So this one did a aggro Azorius Flyers list not too long ago. This one wanted to do a little bit more mid-rangey and to take advantage of cards like Baneslayer Angel and Dream Trawler. These are just really amazing cards that haven't really seen a ton of play. In general, obviously, Dream Trawler has seen some play in control decks and things like that, but haven't really seen too much of it lately. So, I'm going to give this one a go here, and Baneslayer Angel just hasn't really seen a ton of play in general, but really cool cards here. So, what do we got here? We're more mid-rangey, so we're going to kind of slow play some of our stuff, and then just kind of see what our opponent is doing. So, we got 2 Essence Scatterers here in the main deck to go along with 3 Jwari Disruption. Jwari Disruption, of course, can be a blue mana source, or we can make our opponent wish they had not tapped out to cast spell, because we can counter it unless they pay 1. We got 4 Watcher of the Spheres, which is kind of interesting flyer here because it's a 2 mana 2/2 flyer, so it generally fits into more aggressive lists. However, you get the cost reduction on creatures with flying, as it costs 1 generic less to cast. And then whenever a creature you control flying enters, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. But really what we're looking at is the this is the cost reduction there, because Baneslayer Angel obviously costs 5, Dream Trawler costs 6. So if we can reduce that and then play those ahead of curve, then we can do some pretty cool things. So 4 copies of Watcher of the Spheres, and we'll kind of see what our opponent is doing before if we play this on 2, or leave a counter spell open, or maybe Petty Theft something, or maybe we're going to hold up a board sweeper and just kind of wait and play our Watcher of the Spheres later on. It'll kind of depend. But yeah, we have 4 copies here, so even if we do, play 1 on 2, and then we have decided we need to wipe the board, we'll probably have another one to kind of throw on the battlefield and still give us that cost reduction later on. So all 4 Brazen Borrowers, of course, one of the best we can do in flying and Azorius colors in general. To go along with our counter theme, we've got 3 copies of Neutralize, being able to counter any spell, and we can cycle it away. So if our opponent's running a very aggressive matchup and they've kind of emptied their hand and we need to find some answers, we can just cycle this away and try to dig for a board sweeper or a creature that can come down and block for us, something like that. Maybe like a Linvala, 3 mana 3/3. She is legendary though, so just 2 copies. The text you can basically ignore, except for the bottom part. You can sacrifice Linvala to choose Hexproof or Indestructible for your creatures until end of turn. So if your opponent goes to try to sweep your board, or you want to Shatter the Sky, well, you can Linvala, sacrifice, give the rest of your creatures indestructible, play a Shatter the Sky, and blow up your opponent's board, basically. You do lose your Linvala, but if you keep your Baneslayer Angel and Dream Trawler and or Dream Trawler on the board while wiping your opponent's board, I mean, that's pretty good right there. 2 copies here of Archon of Absolution. Just trying to find more flyers here to fill out the 4-drop slot, and pickings are a little bit slim, but it seems like this definitely could line up against certain matchups. 4 mana 3/2 flyer, not really super amazing there. Protection from white for what it's worth, so it can't be Banishing Light or Pacified or any of that kind of stuff, which there's good amount of those cards running around. The interesting thing though is creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless they pay 1 for each of those creatures. So if your opponent wants to see how many swarm tokens they can make, okay, well, good luck paying for all those attacking you. So that's certainly something to keep in mind. Good, the Shadow Skies and kind of clean up any of those go wide strategies as well. 2 here in the main. 4 copies of the Solemn Simulacrum. Since we do have these 5 and 6 mana spells we want to get to, Solemn kind of is our way to ramp in Azorius colors, basically, as we get to search for a basic land, put on the battlefield tapped, and when it dies, we get to draw a card. So just pretty solid creature all around. Since we're trying to attack into the air, Solemn Simulacrum kind of hold down the fort on the ground, jump block for us, draw us a card. All 4 Baneslayer Angels, not legendary, so we're happy to have multiples of these. 2 copies of Elspeth Conquers Death, just give us some additional removal. If we do have to Shatter the Sky, we lose one of our creatures, Elspeth Conquers Death and get it back. And then 3 copies here of Dream Trawler. Super good, not legendary, but at 6 mana is a little bit expensive, so just 3 copies I feel like is pretty reasonable. Don't want to be too greedy and run all 4. And finally 2 copies of Emeria's Call. We're pretty mid-rangey, so we can definitely get up to a situation where we get up to 7 mana, can actually cast this for the full value, and make 2 4/4 Angels, and give the rest of our non-angel creatures indestructible until our next turn. Obviously Baneslayer is an angel, Linvala is an angel, but the Watcher is not, the Dream Trawler is not. Archon is an Archon, of course, and Brazen Borrower is a Fairy Rogue. So enough of our creatures get indestructible off of this, and just being able to make 2 4/4 Angels is pretty good. Or you can just play it as a white mana source, potentially even paying 3 life to have it untapped. 8 plains, 9 islands, 4 Temple of Enlightenment, and 2 Tranquil Coves. I don't know where that came from. So yeah, we've got got a lot of tap lands, so I didn't want to do all 4 Tranquil Coves since we have the Jwari Disruption already here, as well as the Emeria's Call as potentially tap lands as well. So just did the just 2 Tranquil Coves because we do want a little bit of fixing, because obviously we do have like double blue, double white, things like that. But we have, you know, a decent amount of card draw, some cost reduction, things like that that can help us out. So overall, felt pretty solid. So obviously some Graveyard Hate in Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Disenchants, 2 Negates, 2 Archon of Emeria for some hate card, for some a little bit of hate against ramp and things like that. If your opponent's trying to play multiple spells, can be pretty good. 2/3 creature as a flyer as well. 2 copies of Banishing Light, just some utility removal. 2 Mystical Disputes for those control matchups. 1 more Shatter the Sky for the creature heavy matchups, and 2 Sublime Epiphanies, also giving us some. Obviously, since we're pretty heavy on creatures, then we can definitely get full value off of the Sublime Epiphany. You know, making a token. It's a copy of like a Baneslayer Angel or a Dream Trawler while countering their spell. Seems pretty good. Yeah, so let's jump into some matches. Alright, against the Dark Mage. Gonna go first. We'll try it. We got a couple Watcher of the Spheres to kind of throw out there. If we are stuck on lands for some reason, we can cycle this away. Not ideal, but it's not terrible either. Dream Trawler is cool, but obviously we're a little ways from that. Watcher does help if it, you know, sticks around. Not a land, of course, because, you know, when you're stuck on 2 lands, why would you draw a land, right? This is Arena we're talking about. I mean, come on. Alright, Watcher of the Spheres against what looks like a Rakdos list. Grixis. Grixis control. Awesome. Love it. Alright, we'll get a trigger here. Swing for 3. Oh, pretty terrible opening hand here against, looks like Grixis control. Base camp. Okay, so Crocs is just there for value. Fire Prophecy. Wow, we found a land. Not a blue source, so we'll run out Linvala. Get a trigger here for 3. We can protect our Watcher of the Spheres. Another Kroxa. I swear, Kroxa went from seeing hardly any play to just being like all over the place now. Arena? Hello? Obviously, Shatter's not really doing much for us here. It's like now that Uro's banned, people have to play something that has escape. Oh, there we go. Baneslayer Angel or Neutralize? Baneslayer Angel. Let's go for the kill. Let's go for the kill. Did I misplay that there? Could have got them down to 8. Magmatic Channeler. It's a good card, but and they just go for the card draw right away because they're feeling the pressure. We got lethal on board, so they needed to find some removal. Got a Blood Chief Thirst to kill our Watcher here. That's still we'll swing a lethal here. Okay, they have nothing. They just let us kill them. Cool. I wasn't feeling too good about seeing the double Kroxa, but we got there. Huh. Don't think Archon really does anything here. I mean, it does fill out our 4-drop slot, but I think Archon of Emeria, though, seems pretty good. I mean, they're trying to do the party, it looks like, with Base Camp and the Channeler, but maybe they just saw Kroxa and just got all excited and kept their hand. So probably still want to Shatter the Skies. Essence Scatter's okay. Neutralize feels pretty medium here. Do want at least one Soul Guide Lantern, if not both. Maybe we... I mean, they're in Rakdos, or... well, they had the pathway showing Grixis, so... probably lots of removal, so probably want to keep the 2 Neutralizes in. Essence Scatter is reasonable. Watcher's okay. Let's shave one Watcher and get that second Soul Guide Lantern in. It seems like they're leaning pretty heavily on Kroxa, maybe some other graveyard synergies, sacrificing their channel pretty easily. Banishing Light, maybe. We'll see how game 2 goes. If all other creatures are pretty small on the casting cost, then maybe Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't really do it for us. That's a hand. Apparently we're not meant to win this game, so Rin just says, screw you, you don't get a keepable hand. Alright, with all these creatures, I think we'll pitch bottom the Shatter. We'll play the Call here into Island, and just kind of hope for the best. If they got the Kroxa early on, then we'll just discard our most expensive. Agonizer Remorse. Like, are you playing party? Are you playing control? What are you doing with base camp over there, dude? I don't understand. Base camp is like barely playable if you're running the party theme, and this person's running Kroxa, Agonizer Remorse. Like, they don't even seem like they're running party creatures, but they're running base camp. Like, dude, you're playing this much removal, you should not be running base camp. Like, it's just barely playable. And Castle Locthwain in a 3-color deck with hardly any swamps. So you're just the Rakdos mid-range list, but you're being cute with base camp for whatever reason. I mean, they found the swamp to make the cost of Locthwain untapped, but doesn't seem like super likely. Sure, we'll bounce one, why not? Give us something to do. We're stuck on lands here. I do like an untapped land, just get the Solemn down and just trying to find more lands and kind of give us more options. Definitely trade with the Mire Triton. Just give them another look at a Kroxa, maybe. And they found a Kroxa. Cool. Well, there's our untapped. So we'll Solemn. Grab a Plains, I guess. So, I mean, base cap, you can't cast your Kroxa here, but, I mean, the way this game is going, they're going to find untapped red source and just Kroxa here right now. Extinction events. What? Dude, you have 2 Mire Tritons out. I've got a stupid Solemn Simulacrum. You can see what's in my hand. Why would you extinction event a stupid Solemn Simulacrum and get rid of your 2 creatures to exile? Why? Why, you played this on blue, not red? Dark Mage, I'm not sure what you're up to over there. Alright, we'll hold up Neutralize here. Looking at your Kroxa? What are you looking at Kroxa, dude? You can't play it right now. Could Linvala, but I just want to hold up Neutralize. I don't really know exactly what our opponent is up to. And we got Blue Mat open, so... Why do you keep looking at Kroxa, dude? It's my turn. You can't escape it right now. You were the dummy and played this on blue, not red. Don't want them having Allurus. And to play this on blue instead of red to try to cast a Kroxa, it's either just a total misplay or they're holding up a counter magic. Have we seen why they're running blue? Seagate Stormcaller, okay. No counter magic. We do have Linvala. We can protect our Baneslayer. Why are you looking at my lands, dude? You're looking at my lands and then letting priority pass. Like, come on. It doesn't matter. You gonna counter my Solemn? Oh, you got me big time. Dude, it's a 2/2. Why do you care about my Solemn Simulacrum? One card in hand? I mean, just yeah, Kroxa here. Oh boy. I got the Black Lotus pet over there. How many cards do they have? They have 5 in their graveyard. This needs exactly 5, so we'll just discard the Shatter. Not cracking their Fabled Passage. Now they do. So, and if we deal with the Kroxa, they can just escape it again. Alright, I'm gaining a bunch of life. We're still in combat. Alright, Linvala, and then we'll Petty Theft the Kroxa before combat. Guess we'll activate. Say hexproof. Just a Fabled Passage. I mean, if we draw a land into Dream Trawler, is that I mean, they're just gonna cast it anyway. Is it even worth bouncing it? I'm not sure that it is. I mean, we're gonna, if they attack, we have discard. If we bounce it back to the hand, they're just gonna cast again. We'll have to discard. So I mean, either way, it's just kind of whatever. We just need to basically dodge removal here. All right, what do you got? Can you kill my Baneslayer Angel? Well, now they can't cast Kroxa. Still gotta put a Brazen Borrower on board. Hit them for 3. Just need to dodge another Shadow Skull Smashing. Which is super lucky if they draw 2 in a row. But it is arena, it's a land. Perfect. Bye, Kroxa. Escape Kroxa, hit me for 3 more. You got it. I'm at 32. Drawing a card. What do you got? Nothing. Oh, they're coming to gain some life. Baneslayer Angel. Whew. Getting it done against the Grixis. Seemed like they just took like the Rakdos mid-range list and just kind of made it worse. But hey, we'll take it. Up against Ruiz. Those opening hands have not been kind. Alright. I guess we'll keep it. Don't really want to go down anymore. way we have Essence Scatter plus Petty Theft open to us, at least. Our opponent showing mono blue there. Field of Ruin. Awesome, it's a control mirror. Just what I always wanted. Well, nothing better to do, so we'll counter that. Where's our white source? We'll play our Solemn. Grab a white source, and then we have options next turn to either play a threat or just hold open this Neutralize. I mean, they're in mono blue so far. Maybe the Solemn was going to grab something else. Oh, so you're just a colorless Ugin deck. Cool, dude. That's so awesome. We'll hold up in Disruption then. Because Ugin obviously at 8 mana is pretty expensive. Most likely they will tap out when they go to cast it. Let's see, this has Menace. Yeah, we'll block. First strike, baby. What do you got? Pass. We got a pretty good board out. Forsaken Monument. Yeah. We'll bounce the mirror. Slow down their mana resources even further. Oh, where are you going? Oh, you couldn't get your Ugin down early? Oh, you poor thing. God, I hate Ugin so bad. Do we want Shatter the Sky? They're running some creatures, obviously. Our creatures are kind of better than theirs. Archon seems pretty worthless here. Non-basics. What kind of mana base are they running? They're running basic islands and then these things. So that would be kind of a nice hate card. Well, I doubt they're trying to cast multiple spells. Essence Scatter seems pretty medium, but might be worth keeping. Alright, let's take out Shatter, bring in Sublime Epiphany. I think we can just kind of win this through the air. Disenchant is interesting too. Oh. So many options. Are we really going to Essence Scatter their stuff? Probably not. We'll Disenchant. So if they do resolve a artifact creature we don't want to deal with, we can just fire off that. We know if they get a Mecha Godzilla on like 4 as a 4/4 with reach or something like that, maybe we can just fire that off to deal with it. Missing white, we have a counter spell and a Solemn Simulacrum on the draw. So we will give this a try. And once again, we're stuck on blue manas. Opponent getting their non-basics down early ahead of our Archon. Do we play Archon here? Sure. It resolves. Tap out for, let's see, so 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they could have up to 7 mana next turn, so they're still not up to Ugin territory. So I'm okay with Solemn. Grabbing a Plains, kind of thin the deck, get us up to potentially Dream Trawler territory. We have 2 Plains and all the islands we could ever use. Oh yeah, manually tapping, leaving counterspell open. Alright. we have Neutralize plus Disruption. Sure. You got me for 4, making those Palladium Mirrors, putting in some work. Baneslayer is pretty good too. We'll play a Watcher here. Get a counter magic out of them. Swing in with our Archon. We can block with our Simulacrum. If they do have counter magic backup, we're a little bit screwed here. They do have mana open to counter our counter spell. They let it resolve. They get the life gain, which is annoying, but whatever. I'll take the jump here, draw a card. Another Dream Trawler. Four, 5, 6, 7. We can play you, hold open Disruption. Might not be good enough. We'll see. We'll swing both. Take the block. Take 4, gain 3. We're getting gained a bunch of life here, so well, we'll swing all. You know, Labyrinth of Scophos me, bro. Archon, okay. Are you sure that was the one you wanted to remove from combat? Okay, Baneslayer, we can still have Neutralize open to us. We're gonna have one Archon out, so I don't think we want a second one. Just need to protect our board, basically. To Bonder's Enclave, draw a card. It's entirely possible holding up a counter spell here and just wait until they get a Ugin down, and then with counter's magic backup. They're digging. They're gaining some life. Don't think it's good enough. Hexproof. And counter. Whew. Getting it done against the colorless ramp deck. Sweet. If they found an Ugin, we had the counter spells, unless of course they had counter spells they were holding up and just to resolve an Ugin, which maybe they might have been doing the way they were playing. It kind of felt like they had a counter spell there, but hard to say. So yeah, the deck wasn't really expecting too much on the ladder, but there we go. We got a couple matches there in ranked gameplay. Pretty swift gameplay as well. Gotta love that. So yeah, basically, yeah, just trying to feature Baneslayer Angel and Dream Trawler. Obviously, playing Dream Trawler without like a bunch of counter spells Doesn't feel as oppressive. We do have counter spells in the sideboard to kind of protect us. A couple of neutralizes since we are a little bit of a slower deck as well. So we do need to play some, I think. But yeah, Watcher of the Spears gives you kind of a different look with the creature reduction. We didn't use it to full advantage there because we kind of wanted to see what our opponent was doing. So you're not always going to get the boost. So I don't really lean too heavily into that in this particular build. Obviously in the aggressive version, you're trying to play your flyers out and maximize the +1/+1s and then get in for damage. But in this one, it's kind of depends on the matchup. Maybe wait and see what your opponent is doing and then play your creature out. Fortunately, we have just enough card draw, and we're playing just enough lands where we can kind of get to a point where we can play a creature and have counter magic backup. Yeah, the disruption is pretty nice because there are definitely these times where your opponent will try to tap out for something. You know, there's plenty of expensive spells, or if they try to do multiple spells. So disruption has definitely felt really solid here. So I definitely love 3 copies of that. Essence Scatter, there's very creature heavy meta right now, so Essence Scatter the main deck definitely feels reasonable. And then Neutralize is kind of a catch-all. Feels pretty good. That can be cycled away when you're digging for something else. And then the main deck, Shatter the Sky, is still pretty good, even though we're running a bunch of creatures. We can kind of wait and see what our opponent is up to. If we lose 1 or 2 of ours, it's not really a big deal, because we're more worried about Baneslayer and Dream Trawler anyway. And sometimes you have a Solemn Simulacrum down, and then you Shatter the Sky. Well, you get to draw a card off of it anyway and clear your opponent's board. Linvala can protect your creatures from spot removal, or your own Shatter the Skies, your opponent's Shatter the Skies, etc. It's possible you want more. Archon has definitely been a little bit superfluous, but could be helpful in certain matchups. Just haven't. Maybe if I just take this card out, then you'll find the Banishing Light, Pacifism decks, and you'll wish you had this card. But I don't know. So this deck will definitely be something else. Maybe more Linvalas. Only had 2. I think I finally have 3 copies of Linvala now. But she is legendary, so don't know if we wanted to run like necessarily 4 copies, but maybe you go up to 3. Archon could definitely be, something else. I don't know you even need to run more than 2 Shatter the Skies. We have the counter magic. We have some creatures that can kind of hold down the fort. Solemn Simulacrum, Baneslayer Angel, obviously with a lifelink in the first strike, does pretty good against the aggro decks. And Dream Trawler, of course, is just an all-star as well. Sideboard feels pretty good. Could be tweaked a little bit maybe, but overall it's definitely ran pretty well for me. Sublime Epiphany might be asking too much, but we're pretty mid-rangey, so getting to 6 mana to hold our own against other control decks and mid-range decks seems pretty reasonable. Disenchant, we have Banishing Light, it's kind of a catch-all removal and some counter spells, so maybe Disenchant could be something else. But definitely feel like we need some, oops, there we go. Some graveyard interaction. The negates are just kind of a catch-all. Counter spell. It could be like Lofty Denial, except most of our creatures are, at least the ones we care about, we're not necessarily casting them until later on, especially like our Baneslayer Angel and Dream Trawler. So by then, obviously, Lofty Denial loses a lot of its value. So I'm not really sure Lofty Denial really fits in this build. Negate is just kind of a safe, kind of a catch-all spell. And then of course, Mystical Dispute is what it is. It's a pretty good card. And Archon of Emeria definitely. There's definitely enough decks that want to. This can punish. That feels pretty good to having a couple copies here on the side. But maybe the Archon should just come out, and we just main deck the Archon of Emeria, and then we have free up some more sideboard slots for something else. So there's a little bit of room to maybe tweak this still, but feel pretty good with where it's at. Not super competitive, but there's enough powerful cards in here that you can definitely hold your own on the meta and rank up to an extent. I'm not going to get you all the way mythic or anything like that, I wouldn't expect, but some good cards in here, so maybe if you play it well. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for the deck or anything like that, just let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and until next time, make sure you jank with